So go ahead and graph this function. That's on your note guide, on your graphing calculator there on your screen. Go ahead and type in f of x equals the square root of x. Do it with me, I'm going to do it on mine. So I'm going to type in f of x. Come a little closer. F of x, oops, so parenthesis, equals cube root. You don't know where the cube root is? Press that arrow, and you have the cube right there. Cube root of x. There's a graph. So I should see that on your screen right now. We'll give you about a minute. I'll come around and look at your screen. So the graphing calculator just graphed f of x equals the cube root of x. So put that on your screen. Never mind. Good job, Solio.
Oh, my bad.
Good job, Anton. Nice one, man. Good, you got this. Nice. Nice. Good job, good job. Mesa. Alright. Did you ever get it? You got everything, right?
No, I don't know if you do
F of x.
yeah.
You did good.
No, I'm saying
It's cube root, you have to pay attention. Right here, boom. X, I'll put x. Nice. Alright. So, I'm not sure if you just realized it, but what you just did is you graphed what we call a parent function. A parent function. Your parents had children, or just one child, which was you. Believe it or not, functions have children also. They don't really have children, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's a parent function and then there's a child function. And the child function, just like in human relations, the child kind of resembles the parent. You resemble your mom or your dad to some degree. Trust me, you do. You know you do. The child function, watch this. That's called a square root function. The child function will resemble the parent function. Let's create a child. Ready, Solodio?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click underneath here. Go ahead and copy and paste. Copy, paste, or you can just type it up again. It's up to you. Do that again here. Control C, Control V. Maybe not, it's not. Used to work. Oh well. Control C, Control V. I'll paste. Oh, not copy and paste. So I'm going to just write f of x. Let me talk, please. F of x. Here's what I'm going to do now. Equals square root. Again, square root. Just press that this lower arrow button right here at the bottom left. How about x? Go to write x plus 2. You should see a blue function now, 2 units to the left of the parent function. Let me see that on your screen. I'll be walking around. Say again? So the blue graph is a child of the red graph. The red graph is the parent function, the blue is the child. So I added 2 inside the square root symbol. What took place? Can someone describe what took place from the parent to the child?
It moved up.
It moved up?
Yeah. No, it went negative.
Right. I added 2, but it went left. That's strange. You would think it'd go right, but it went 2 units to the left. So on your note guide, if you flip the page, what you and I just did is called a horizontal translation. That sounds fancy schmancy. A horizontal translation. And look what we did. We added some number. We added 2, but here the example is 3 units to the left. We added 2, but your note guide has x plus 3. That means the child will move 3 units to the left. We call that a horizontal translation because the word horizontal means left and right. Let's make another child. So I'm going to walk around right now. You should have 3 graphs now. Watch. The next child is going to be a different color. It automatically does that. I'm going to write f of x. F of x. There we go. Equals, look what I'm going to do now. X minus 2. Look at the purple now. I subtracted 2, now went 2 units to the right. I should see 3 functions on your screen. I'm going to walk around. So I see 1, give me 2. Nice, gracias. Beltran, rocking it. Fonseca's rocking it, so Celorio. Ellen has got 1, she needs 2 more.
I have 3.
Forgive me. Are you mad at me?
I have 3.
What? What's 3? Okay, let's see one second.
Go back shower.
Okay. Sure, what's up real quick? Come on, man, you got this, it's easy stuff. You wanna use this symbol? Just where we. Guzman's rocking it. I gotta do 1 more. Thomas said hi. Nice cruise. Amazing. All right. So now on your notes, you're on the other side. What we did is just called, right, Solorio? And Beltran, I'm talking, please, thanks. We did a horizontal translation, but we went 2 units to the right. And you saw that, the purple one. Let's try vertical now. Let's try up and down. Vertical means up and down. Let's try a vertical child. A vertical child up and a vertical child down from the parent function. So go ahead and erase the 2 children and just have the parent on your screen. So right now just have the parent on your screen. You with me, Gabriel? Let's create this one, but look it. I'm going to put plus 7, but the plus 7 is not going to be inside the square root symbol. It's going to be outside. It's going to move that child upward, not left or right. If it's inside the square root, it goes left or right. So we're going to do a vertical translation. That means up or down. Go ahead and create these 2. Create these 2 children right now for me. I'll do it up here. You can copy me. X plus 7, X minus 1. Watch.
Do I delete the rest?
Yeah, leave the parent. Yeah, leave the parent. You're going to create 2 children again. F of X equals square root of X. Now look, I'm going to click on the outside plus, look at that, 7. Look at, there's a child way up there in black. The child's in black. Let me zoom out so you can see. 7 units up. And then go ahead and create the other function of it going down. Well, let's go X minus 1, so let's go 1 unit down from the parent. So let me see this on your screen. Now we're talking. Minus 1. You should be able to copy and paste the way I just did. Saves time. So there's the other child now. One child is in red, downward, and another child is in black, 7 units upward. That's called a vertical translation. So far, so good. I'm gonna come around and look. You should have 3 functions. Thank you, Gabriel. Gracias, brother. Just give me 3 functions. Erase the other 2. All right, you're on there. You. So we're on the vertical ones now, right? Going up or going down? We're on the vertical ones now. So you want to put +7 and -1 outside the square root symbol so it can go up or down. We're done with the horizontal translation, children. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Almost moving on. Almost moving on. So that's inside the square root, so it's going to the left. You want to put it outside so it goes up. You see that the way I do? Nice. Nice. Awesome. Woo! All right. We got a vertical translation. We got a horizontal translation. We've already covered those. How about a reflection? Go ahead. How about a reflection over the y-axis? In other words, I'm going to flip it like this, like over the y-axis this way, like flipping it over the y-axis. I can flip it over the y-axis or I can flip it over the x-axis. In other words, I can take that parent function. Let me erase the 2 children. Here's the parent function. I can take that parent function and flip it over the y-axis like this. Or I can flip it over the x-axis this way. Let's do the y-axis one first. Watch. I'm going to put a negative inside the square root symbol right in front of x. In other words, I'm going to multiply the x by -1. So create that child with me, please. I'm going to do this right here. G of x equals -x. You're going to see it flip over. The child will be flipped over the y-axis. Watch. Do it with me. They put a -1 right in front of the x. There it is. The child now is reflected over the y-axis. I should see that on your screen. Go. Nice. 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 Reflection now. Erase those 2 children and give me a new child. I want to see the child, move it. I want the reflection child now. Come on. Let's take that same parent now and have a second child, but we're going to take that parent and we're going to flip it over the x-axis. How are we going to do that? Let's see what the notes say. We're going to put the negative outside the square root symbol. So you should have a second child now. Made a copy and paste this puppy. Saves time when you copy and paste, just saying. Control-C, Control-V. Let me put the negative outside. Watch the child flip over the x-axis in green. So I should see that right now on your screen. 2 children and the parent. Mine are green and blue. The children are green and blue on mine. One's purple on yours. Green and blue, nice. So you guys kind of seen it now. You got parent, you got children. The children resemble the parent, but they're just a little bit different when you start tweaking things in the function. Got it? Nice. All right. So we covered reflections. Now let's cover the last 2. It's actually the last 4 because there's a stretch and a shrink versus a stretch and a shrink. Horizontal stretch or shrink. That's when we take that x and multiply by some number that's bigger than 1. We're going to have a horizontal shrink. The graph's going to go like this. It's going to be smashed. Smashed towards the y-axis. So what we'll do is we'll take the x and multiply it by 3. Watch. Watch what happens. Erase the 2 children. Have the parent in front of you. Phone's away right now. So just have the parent right now, you erase the two children. Go ahead and multiply it by 3. So look at the child now. What took place is what we call a horizontal shrink. We took the parent and we're kind of smashing it against the y-axis. Imagine us like taking that and going like that. That's a horizontal, because horizontal is left to right. Horizontal shrink. We're shrinking it horizontally. That's what you see with the child. Versus, how about a number that's a fraction? Look at, we're going to stretch it now by a factor of 1/2. That'll be the second child. Stay with me. The second child will be, I'm going to take that parent function, I'm going to stretch it so it's going to be thinner. I'm going to stretch that parent away from the y-axis, a horizontal stretch versus a horizontal shrink. It's going to be stretched. Watch. Let's multiply inside the function by 1/2. Do that with me. Take the x and multiply by 1/2. Make a fraction. Look at that. I took the parent in red and I stretched it. Imagine stretching it, it's going to get thinner. We call that a horizontal shrink or stretch. So it's a fraction, it's a stretch. If it's more than 1, it's a shrink. Let me see it on your screen. Rocking it, rocking it. Nice, Gabriel. Oh, there you go. Rocking it. Good, well done. Gobian's on it. Guzman is on it. Violas is giving up. Oh, win that. Win it. I thought you won already. I appreciate it. What's it? Plus, gotcha. One more, right? All right. Here we go, Solorio. All right, I'm going to erase the two children. Do that with me. You should only have the parent. Look what we're going to do now. Let's have a little bit of fun. Put an A in front of the X. And it's asking to add a slider. You press the blue button. And the slider, what it does is say, look it, I'm going to allow you to see what happens to the graph when A changes all these values. If A was 1, watch, press play, and you're going to see the parent function shrink or stretch. Look at it. A is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's shrinking. Now it's negative, it flipped. If it's negative, it's a reflection over the x-axis. So right now, A is 1.68, negative 1.68. So it was a reflection over the y-axis. You see. So you can see that things move. As A moves, as A changes, you can see the effect it has on the parent function. Go ahead and do that for me. I want to see that. Press play. Matter of fact, when you press play, you can actually change the speed. It's kind of cool. You go slower. I'm going to go slow. You can kind of see it better. So go ahead and, I want to see this on your screen. Put an A, add a slider, and press play. I'll be walking around. So I'm talking to students who want their R stamp. If you don't want your R stamp, do what you're doing, whatever. Have a good day. 1 second, you have something to say?
You got a slider.
Okay, just put an A there, and you'll see a blue button that says add slider. All right. You can change the speeds. Nice. Nice. Press play. Add slider. Press that blue button there. Now we're tapping the press play. There you go. Nice, Ellen. Good scenario. Thank you. Nice. Go beyond. Move on. Put an A for the X and put add slider. Put an A in front of the X. Put an A in front of it. In front of it. Put it in front of the Once you type in A in front of the X, it's gonna, a blue button's gonna come up. It says add slider. You press that and press play. Yeah. You wanna put an A in front of that X. Once that square root symbol, put an A in front of there. Now we're talking. There we go. Add slider. Press play. Got it. Talking. Good. All right. Go ahead and shut the slider down now. Erase that A. And we're going to cover the last one now. A vertical stretch or shrink. In other words, a number outside the square root symbol is going to make it stretch vertically or shrink vertically. Versus this way. We're going to go this way. So go ahead and put in a slider outside the square root symbol for me. Put an A, add slider, press play. So it's vertical now. Vertical stretch, vertical shrink. And when it turns negative, it's flipping over the x-axis. It's a reflection aspect. So let me see that on your screen, please. Add a slider outside the square root now. That's a vertical stretch or shrink. Start on this side now. Rocking it. It's still inside, outside piece. You're in the horizontal stretch or shrinks. So put an A outside the square root symbol. Come like this. See how the 4 is outside? Before the square root, put an A before the square root. Rocking it, goes on. Go beyond. Got it. Good job, Gracia. Good job, Sanchez, Rios. Nice. Beautiful. Alan's giving up. No, you're on it, I'm teasing you. All right, keep that slider on, add another parent function, but now add a slide, go to put plus A outside, actually plus B. Add a slider called B, and you should have a square root function moving up and down now. So I want a lot of movement on your screen. So the plus B is a vertical slide up and down, right? So let me see both functions moving like this. Nice. Nice. It could be outside the square root symbol. So it can shift up and down. So B should be outside, plus B. Nice. Nice. Good. Good. Almost there. Put it outside the square root symbol. Put it outside the square root symbol. We're almost done. Go ahead and add another parent function. F of x equals x, but now go ahead and subtract, actually add an A inside the symbol. Press plus A, actually go C. We're gonna add a slider C because we're A and B already taken up. So you should have now a function moving left and right now. I got a function moving left and right, that's horizontal. I got a function moving up and down, and I got one stretching and shrinking. I want to see 3 of them moving. Like that. So notice, add a C slider, but inside the square root symbol, that makes it go left and right. Let me see that on your screen. next to the X so you can be inside. Awesome, awesome. Awesome. Play those puppies. So now you're starting to see the power of manipulating functions. This is a real life skill of engineers right here, what we're doing. You want to model a function to a real life situation, all you gotta do is manipulate some of the coefficients and you're there. Alright. So what you're seeing there is horizontal translation left and right. You're seeing vertical translation up and down. You're seeing reflections when it goes over the axis. You're seeing a horizontal stretch, but we're going to do a vertical stretch now. Last one. No, not. We're already doing a vertical stretch. We're going to do a horizontal stretch and shrink. So I'm going to put the A inside the X, but I'm going to call it D. Here we go. Last one. Put a dx, because we got A, B, C, and D sliders. Put a D multiplied by X. Add that. Press play. The difference between the blue and the red is one's being horizontally shrunk and shrinking and stretching, and the other one's being vertically stretched and shrink. I got the black right here going horizontal translation, and I got the green vertical translation. I should see 4 like that.